Greetings, people of the internet. This is Cardiacs, and today is another commission. I find that I've done quite a few pieces lately, and I am pretty much good for the next couple of weeks in terms of upload days. I what? I lost my train of thought for a second. Dang it, what was it? Oh yeah. So my plan for December was to do 3 videos a week, and I had mixed results in that. Most weeks I think I did manage to do at least 2 videos, but a few times it was like not gonna happen. Regardless, I did manage to do more videos a week, but for now I'm back to just one, and I need to get better at announcing that, honestly. It seems the best place for doing announcements of that nature is Twitter, and I honestly don't use my Twitter very much. I tend to crowd control from Instagram to Twitter so that I have posts on Twitter, but I don't actually go through and look at that stuff. I've been trying to change that more recently, so I guess it's another New Year resolution is that I can attempt using the social media I've signed up for at least more often, and Cat is trying very hard. You may see a past illustration done popping up every now and then, and that is the original illustration I did of Chael, and the man in this illustration is Chael, so, I was using the original I did for a reference to get his fluffy beard and hair color and clothing and skin colors at least close. And then Dayyyy, the girl, my brain got stuck. I had to use Ginger's descriptions, there we go, to draw her. Brain is slow today. Slower than usual, which feels like it's saying something. Regardless, I had quite a problem trying to get Dayyyy's eyes to look okay, and I think that's pretty obvious by how much time I spent on playing with them. And, I mean, they don't really look how I wanted them to, but that's okay, because sometimes it's just not going to work out. The point is that you learn from it, and hopefully you learn enough that you can fix it next time. Honestly, I don't know what to title this. The illustrations that I've done for Ginger have pretty much always had a title of some sort, but I mean, for this one, Ginger and I kept discussing ideas for it, mostly Ginger, and I don't think any one stood out the most, but I guess we'll find out which one I choose when this goes to YouTube and DeviantArt. I hope to work on some watercolor things because I found a technique that I had kind of considered, like I kind of thought I kind of knew it existed, I just had never really understood how to do it, but I found a tutorial and I want to give it a shot, but whether or not I get around to it today is the question. I might try to record it, but I haven't really played with my camera since the last time I did a video. So I'm a little unsure of it because I really don't want to have to deal with the error message as again. It is quite frustrating, especially when I have already recorded a video. Quite terrifying once you've recorded a video and then you feel like you've lost all the footage. It is very upsetting. Anyway, so this illustration kind of messed with me a little bit. I wasn't entirely sure what to do with the background, but I never am sure, so I just played around as always. Messed around with what I thought I liked and tried to make the layers in a good spaced out way so that I could move between them and make layers between them. The great Aaron Blaze gave a nice tip in one of the tutorials I bought, and he said that what he likes to do is create a new layer, play with whatever he thinks he wants to do in that new layer, and if he likes it, then he can just merge it with another layer. If he doesn't, then he can just delete the whole layer. So I've been playing with that lately, and I find that I like that method as well. It's very simple and easy as long as the experimentation layer is in a nice place, as in it's in a convenient order. As for the colors on this, I need to practice more with backgrounds because I feel like I'm not nearly where I want to be, of course. So I would really like to get better, and one of the things that I need to practice with is backgrounds. Specifically city backgrounds, but I could definitely improve with my forest and nature type backgrounds. But like I haven't really done any city street kind of things in quite some time, so perhaps that will change this year. I hope it does anyway. I have definitely learned quite a lot last year, and I hope that that continues this year. One more thing I just remembered that I need to learn is how to draw more walking poses. Like I've done running ones, but since this is kind of like a leisurely stroll through the woods, this is a little bit difficult for me to do. It took me a few tries, and I still don't really like how Kale's legs look. I can't really put my finger on why. But Dayyyy's legs turned out fine. They're not the best, but they turned out fine. Just fine. The one thing that I noticed is that Chayla's supposed to be a chunky man. Like, not really fat, but muscular and stocky. And I wasn't really paying attention to his body type as much as I should have, so his legs especially turned out extremely skinny, and it looked very disproportionate. And of course, I noticed this before I sent the next to last update to Ginger. So I fixed that, and at the very end of the video, you can see me struggling and playing with things. I had to go over to Ginger's house to actually finish this as well because we had planned to do so. And what? I lost my train of thought again. Dang it. Something about his body type. In any case, oh, I remember. My computer was doing some really funky things. Like when I first set up my computer, it seemed like the pen tablet didn't want to recognize the movement of the pen itself, and I got very frustrated and very worried that I would have to get a new one. Because freaking pen tablets, at least the one that I have, are quite expensive, and I really don't want to have to buy a new one, especially since the one I have is not that old. Thankfully, though, I thought to restart my laptop, and that definitely helped. Prior, it wouldn't let me do anything, it wouldn't let me move anything, wouldn't let me make a mark at all. If it was only a small mark, I had to like jam the pen into the tablet in order for it to register anything, and that was extremely upsetting. But once the computer had been restarted, everything was all hunky-dory and back to normal. I was very relieved. Because everything became all hunky-dory and back to normal, I was able to start on a new commission as well. So as of right now, beyond this one, I have 2 more videos ready to be uploaded. One of them is kind of in case I don't have anything to post one week. And the other one is for sure going to happen next week. Unless Ginger gets impatient and requests me to post it sooner. We'll see. I find I really like doing grass. Like, it's really simple, really, it's really easy, really. I find the easiest way for me to do it is to first shade the ground. Like, just throw down the green and then add other variations of the color for the shading that the trees cause, like the shadows that the trees cause. And then when I'm happy with where the shadows look relatively, then I will just use the color picker, pick up those colors, and then draw grass. The interesting part is trying to remember to make the tallest blades of grass closer to the camera, and then the smallest ones, little dinky fuzzy ones, be in the distance. That definitely helps give a feeling of distance. One of the things I struggled with a little bit was trying to get the dirt road, dirt trail, dirt whatever, to look okay. I feel like I could have done more with it, but that's okay. You live and you learn. I'm surprised Summer hasn't been pestering me as much. Usually when I do voiceover, she's all up in my face. This time, though, she's wandering around and just being generally a kitty. Speaking of kitties, I vacuumed my room recently, a few days ago, I believe, and Jack, the new little boy, I suspect, went to the bathroom behind my TV. And no, the litter boxes are not located behind the TV. They are on the other side of my room. I suspect it's Jack, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so far I haven't really witnessed any other quote-unquote accidents, and I really, really, really hope that doesn't happen again. Because though I don't really mind cleaning up messes like that, I really just don't want to have to. Plus, it kind of makes me a little bit paranoid because when stuff like this happens, I'm constantly looking and wondering if there is going to be another accident anytime soon. So then my waking world is plagued by constantly looking around my room for any kind of messes. It's not fun, but I'm a nervous and apparently very paranoid person, so I can't help it. Hopefully I can, maybe by the end of this year, but I'm putting a whole lot of stuff on this year. I'm just like hoping all the things will change and everything will get better. But the reality is that so far things are pretty good. I mean, I've got people who believe in me and my artwork. I've got someone who regularly asks for commissions and apparently will want to keep me employed for quite some time as well. I've also got a significant other now and friends who care about me. So yeah, this year is going pretty well so far. Hopefully it'll get even better. I personally don't think it will because I am always doubting everything that could possibly be good in my life, but you know, sometimes you gotta accept the good things and not expect them to change. So for now, I am trying really hard to just believe that everything will be okay and that I'll end up happy. So far so good. Another thing that Ginger wanted was for the little animals to be in the illustration, and she suggested a fawn, but I thought, based on how I decided to do the background, I thought trying to add just a singular fawn would be a bit difficult, because like where would I even put it? It'd have to be curled up in the grass somewhere, and I feel like it would have to be behind a tree, so because deer try to hide their babies as well as they can. So I ended up putting a fawn beside its mother, and I also added a rabbit, and in a second there will be a butterfly as well. I didn't really look up any specific animals for these, they're just from memory. So the butterfly likely doesn't look like any specific species. The rabbit is just kind of a generic bunny, and then the deer are just vaguely representative of white-tailed deer. Just because that's the type that I get around my house, and I'm used to seeing them. And of course, to give a nice pop of color and a feeling of spring, I added some flowers as well. The flowers that I've been doing are really simple. They're essentially just blobs of color. They're just like circles that have been attached to each other. And then I add a little bit of shading, put a little bit of darkness in the middle, then some light on the petals, and then we're good. And here I am messing with Jail's proportions because he was super funky looking. He still looks a little funky by the end, but I tried. Sometimes that's all you can do. I feel a little bit of a headache. It's very slight, but I think it's there. Anyway, if anyone is interested, I am open for commissions. And also I have Patreon and Redbubble. I believe those links will be in the description box below. If not, then you can message me or comment, one of the two. Does YouTube even have messages? Does it have? I don't know. I think it used to, but I don't know how to find them. It's been ages since anybody messaged me on here. Regardless, so if you want the links and the links are not in the description box below, then I can send them to you directly. However, I do intend to change up my commissions, make them a bit more simple. So, I will possibly have a link to the commissions once I have them finished. Once I have the information finished, that is. And Cat is back. Because I'm not surprised. Please don't knock stuff over, kitty. You're not graceful. I'm not graceful either, but I mean, I can pretend think that's pretty much it. I just, toward the end, after messing with Chael's proportions, I realized that there was just too much brightness in this illustration. And I mean, that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be spring and it's supposed to be colorful and happy. But what about the trees? So I thought about it and I figured that there should be some shadows being cast by the trees. So I added that a little bit subtly and it seemed to help a little bit. So, yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you like this. Information and links are in the description, and have a nice day, and hopefully a good 2018 as well. Bye!